No. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to a brand new episode of Flesh Wound Farce, where we review and discuss your and our favorite comedy films. This is the world's first and only combination trivia host and professional wrestling announcer of Chilean descent that currently resides in Southern California. From trivia nights to title fights, your voice of choice, the stunningly stupendous student of stupidity, Ozzy V. And also with me on this program, as always, first in the Northern California Bay Area, world-famous juggler Greg Larson. How you doing, Greg?
Started my day with some preseason football, so life is good. How about yourself, Ozzy?
I had to clean a bathtub.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, that's
but
fun.
At least I don't have to do it during the regular season. Moving on. World-famous producer, Flesh Wound producer, Todd. Just needs to be known as Todd. You don't need to know his last name.
No, you don't.
How are you, Todd?
Chilling.
Fantastic. All right, I am thrilled today, everybody. We're going to be discussing, reviewing Who Framed Roger Rabbit, released on June 22nd, 1988, a classic. Todd, do you have a trailer available?
I absolutely do.
Mommy's going to the beauty parlor, darling. But I'm leaving you with your favorite friend, Roger. He's going to take very, very good care of you. Because if he doesn't, he's going back to the science lab.
Cut! What the hell was wrong with that take? Nothing with you, baby Herman. You were great. You were perfect. You were better than perfect. This Roger, he keeps blowing his lines. Roger, what's this? A tweeting bird? Tweeting bird? Roger, read the script. Look what it says. It says rabbit gets clunked, rabbit sees stars. Not birds, stars! Can we lose the playback, please? You're killing me. For crying out loud, Roger. How many times do we have to do this damn scene? No! I'll be in my trailer. Taking a nap! Excuse me,
Please, Raoul, I can give you stars. Just drop the refrigerator in my head one more time.
Roger, cups on your head 23 times already.
I can take it. Don't worry about me.
I'm not worried about you. I'm worried about the refrigerator.
This is the tale of an up-and-coming movie star named Roger Rabbit and a down-and-out private detective named Eddie Valiant.
Ooga booga.
Every moment they were together was a new adventure in trouble.
Find me, Eddie. Please.
It's a motion picture about friendship,
Take it easy, will ya? Please, Eddie. Don't tell me you're making a big mistake.
love, compassion,
Well, I'm sorry I yanked your ears.
All the time you yanked my ears?
murder,
Marvin Acme. The rabbit cacked him last night.
Remember, you never saw me.
sex,
I'd do anything for my husband, Mr. Valiant. Anything.
and violence.
Tunes gets him every time.
You wouldn't have any idea where the rabbit might be?
Got a thing for rabbits, huh? The whole thing stinks like yesterday's diapers.
It's a comedy a little different from all the rest.
I'm a pig!
I'm a tomb.
I'm not bad. I'm just drawn that way.
But tell me, Eddie, is that a rabbit in your pocket or you just happy to see me?
Touchstone Pictures and Steven Spielberg present a Robert Zemeckis film.
We tunes may act idiotic, but we're not stupid.
Who Framed Roger Rabbit?
And that was the trailer for Who Framed Roger Rabbit, again released on June 22nd, 1988, rated PG with a runtime of 104 minutes. Based on the book Who Censored Roger Rabbit by Gary K. Wolfe, screenplay coming from Jeffrey Price and Peter S. Seaman, directed by Robert Zemeckis, starring Bob Hoskins, Christopher Lloyd, and featuring Charles Fleischer as the voice of Roger Rabbit and Kathleen Turner as Jessica's speaking voice. Initial thoughts on this. I saw this. This was the earliest time I remember going to the theater.
Yeah.
In Orange, California, there used to be a theater called the Cinedome, and going there as a kid always felt like a big deal because it just seemed like the place was gigantic. And they also had a fantastic arcade, and they had like 26 screens, just a massive amount. Um, and there's so many great things about this movie, and it ages so well. It's kind of timeless. Um, and it feels better every time I watch it. Like, I like it more every time I watch it. That's the beauty of it. There's always something really new to appreciate. I took a chance to listen to some of the commentary, which I'm going to be great to share some of those notes. But this is one of those movies that I always have nearby. I thought I actually had it in my storage, and because I wanted to pick up the DVD. And I actually did pick up the DVD cover here, and it's got the leather. There's like another cover that goes on top of this, but what's cool about this is that the insert is like a detective pad. It says Valiant on it, and when you open it up, there's descriptions about all the special features. And then what's also great about this is that it comes with signed headshots of Roger Rabbit and Jessica Rabbit, right? One thing I wanted to share for, and there's the Jessica one. So, but much to my dismay, once we got everything out and looked in there, I discovered it was not in the case. And then I remembered I had a CD wallet under the computer that I'm at right now. And in that CD wallet are both of the discs that would normally belong in this case, because that was unfortunately when I moved out of my own place and I didn't have a space to take all my DVDs. I wanted to keep a select few with me at all times, just in case. And that was one of the ones I kept with me just because I love it so much.
I mean,
wants to go next?
That's totally fair. Like, I am not a person to watch a movie multiple times in general. But this is one of those few that no matter what, I'm always happy to watch this film. I could have done this review without watching it again, but any excuse I have, more than happy to rewatch this. Although it is the first time I thought going into this, I was going to be like, there's nothing I can, outside of the fact that there's no sequel, I'd have no critiques about it. But
I think I know what it is. I'm going to write it down.
I don't think you do.
Okay.
But it's all right. It's all right. Let's give it a go. But overall, you don't see this at all anymore. These crossing of worlds, that are not just within, you have crossovers within the same genre or company, but this cross-company crossover and this like blending of animation and reality and trying to breathe life. And as someone who portrayed cartoon characters for a lot of his life, maybe this was a foundation of like trying to bring that they are real, that there is a life to them. And I don't think anything like this will ever happen again. But this is all time one of my favorite movies.
And they would never try anything like it again because the way they make movies is so completely different now.
Yeah.
Because they're already basically making these movies for every Marvel movie and every Star Wars movie as is. That's just CG characters instead of hand-drawn animation. Yeah. And we don't even think about it now. There'd be no like internal works making this stuff move. It'd all be done in post. So like, and that's what makes this movie feel so real, because it's all there minus the animation. It's all done in camera. But with the whole thing of the characters, it's not even the fact that it's coming together now, because Warner just doesn't care about the Looney Tunes, which is ever present right now. Look at Coyote versus Acme.
Mm-hmm.
Acme. They've always looked at them as monitoring of monetizing them through ads. Like, I mean, if you look, like once the shorts were done, they did some Saturday morning cartoons, but they were like doing Space Jam, selling shoes. They were more like they never utilized them. Warner didn't know how, where Disney always
Warner doesn't know how to do something. Come on.
Yeah, well, and so, but I mean, like even now, like they've never been able to get, like they've tried to make their Roger Rabbit and they can't. Like, there's something so special about Roger Rabbit that, like, showing it to a kid now who's only seen CGI, you can tell it's different. There's something about it.
Mm-hmm.
It's like that. It feels real where like stuff now doesn't. And like Ozzy, you said this is like your first memories theatrically seeing it. Not my first, obviously, 88, but this up until years later, it was my record of most times in the theater for one movie, which was 8 times as a kid. Wow. I know the day it came out, I saw it twice. So, and from there, I read the book. Roger Rabbit's always been a big thing.
Yeah. An interesting note about like saying this movie would not be made, or type of movie would not be made again. It'd be interesting to think if the movie would have even been attempted back then, because the original book didn't feature, it wasn't about animated characters, about cartoon strips. So Roger Rabbit was actually a fictional cartoon strip character. And the interesting thing about the book is the way characters would speak would be through bubbles. And then the bubbles would then break and cause dust everywhere. And that was something that would annoy Eddie Valiant in the book. So Roger was actually murdered early on in the book. And the way he was murdered was that his bubble box was broken. So in a way, who censored him? And so Eddie was then on the case, which actually is a little bit darker, and it involves some mob type characters and even some questionable studios involved. So,
so you're telling me this could have been Garfield and Dilbert?
Yeah, exactly. So it wasn't until it reached the screenplay stage where obviously the changes were made to involve animated characters, which,
I mean, once Disney gets involved.
And that was the thing. If Steven Spielberg wasn't attached to this, it wouldn't have happened, because he had what was under his belt by this time. Just anything he put his name on was going to be money. So it was funny that Looney Tunes, or rather,
at the time, don't undersell Zemeckis either.
Well, the funny thing is that Zemeckis was actually tapped to direct this. They wanted, the screenwriters actually, or Zemeckis was the first choice, but because Back to the Future hadn't been released yet, this was like 83 or 84, Disney kept saying no, and then Back to the Future hit, and then they said it was okay for Zemeckis to do it. So it really is a mixture of all these specific things. Like, without Zemeckis, you wouldn't have had a Christopher Lloyd the way that he is in the movie. In fact, Zemeckis told him, whenever the camera's on you, make sure to not blink, which adds a little bit of extra, like you always see him with his eyes open, kind of like adds the kind of creepiness about him. And it's a small detail like that makes a big deal. You don't notice it right away, but if you look at all the scenes and you notice he never blinks, it adds a little bit to it, which is great. But without the book, it's interesting to say if something like this would have even been attempted if not for that. So there's a bunch of specific things, stars aligning, to show what this could be and what could be if everybody just cooperated. So I'm just happy we got it.
Yeah.
So let's move on. I mean, we could talk about favorite moments, but we might have to go 2 rounds here. In fact, what we could do is, I mean, I have enough for this. We used to do a draft a long time ago, with the old KFWF radio, right? Where you'd have a draft of things. So we'll do a 3-round draft of favorite moments.
Okay.
Because I mean, this movie's chock full of them. Okay. I'm going to be nice, and I'm not going to go first. I will say I'm going to write a number down, and whoever gets closest to that number will go first. Loser will go second, and I'll go third. And we'll do it snake, so I get back to back.
Between what?
Between 1 and 10.
8.
Todd?
What am I doing? I don't know.
Pick a number between 1 and 10.
5.
Okay, number's actually 7, so Greg's closer. So Greg gets first pick, Todd goes second, I go third. Let's go with our favorite moments.
Very happy because just my sense of humor, the thing that was a foundation for it, was one of the greatest lines when Roger and Eddie are trying to get the handcuffs off, and he slips out of the cuffs, and he's like, "You could have taken your hand out the entire time," and he goes, "No, only when it's funny."
And I'll cross that one off.
All right.
Todd.
But the liquor store guy, he knew.
Donald versus Daffy. With the dueling pianos.
Okay.
And the Donald with the horns, and then by R.K. Maroon saying, "It's great. They never finished the act," indicating that this happens all the time, which is hilarious. So that gives me back to back. Still, the opening cartoon brought me to tears because from Disney, you're so used to seeing a different type of cartoon short that this kind of added almost like a shock factor to it. The closest thing I've ever seen similar to this type of cartoon was a Pluto one, where I think it was called Turkey Lurkey, where both Pluto as the dog, and then there was a cat in the house as well, thought that there was a turkey in the TV, and then they get the idea to try to raid the fridge. It's all like there is no spoken word. It's just the cat and the dog fighting over this turkey for a good 5 to 7 minutes. And that's my favorite Disney cartoon of all time. This right here is more in that vein of Disney's version of Looney Tunes. And even with the opening, it has the same note and chord that hits in the background as well. So next up is Todd.
Okay. Yeah, I'm glad I had more. I wrote a few down for once. Oh, nice booby trap. How do I not?
Well, I'm grateful to have back-to-backs on this. The moment where Eddie's caught with his pants down, and there's the line of "dabbling in watercolors, Eddie." It's such a great that not saying it outright moment, and then just the shock, the initial shock of Baby Herman's voice. That is up there with the ending of The Sixth Sense. If I could go back and
witness something for the first time.
Yeah.
That's great. Todd, last one.
This one makes me laugh. And just, what do I look like? A bank? And he 100% looks like a bank with the money on. Yeah.
I'm really torn between two, but I'm going to go with the one I'm going to say only because the next one kind of ties into some more mechanics and notes on commentary on the scene. But it's the Baby Herman line where he says, I got a 50-year-old lust and a 3-year-old dinky.
Yes.
And the delivery, like Greg, to what you were saying about the voice, you're still in that shock factor. So that line's delivered, it adds, it makes the voice perfect for that kind of character. So it shouldn't be any surprise that when we get to the ratings, this is the first of its kind, and it didn't have to be as good as it was, and it remains a timeless classic.
Yeah.
And all because everybody specifically just come together on this project, especially Bob Hoskins pantomiming across all spots, just makes everything fantastic and work. And especially if you love cartoons, it just is like the holy grail, like one of the greatest movies of all time.
Yes.
Especially if you love cartoons across all board and not just like one specific brand.
I have a question. This breaks your animated rule.
Technically not, because there's only, hold on a second.
Did he do the math? Did he know this was coming?
No, I mean, I took a note on it and I remember thinking, okay, here it is. Disney only wanted 12 minutes of animation, with the movie providing 48. So it's still less than 90 minutes of animation.
Okay.
Yeah. There we go.
Could have just said it wasn't all animated, and that would have been an easy loophole too.
Yeah, but
you got to drop some facts in there. I got
it, and it's hilarious that, in fact, Disney. Okay, there's a lot of commentary notes I could get into.
Are you going to do the screen time thing?
Should we do the screen time thing?
The rule of Mickey and
I got tons of stuff.
Yeah,
I don't know if we should go over all this and then do the ratings, or do the ratings first and then go into this producer.
I don't think anyone told me. Oh yeah, we got to do that first.
Oh, I didn't even think. Right. Okay. Now I did write something down for critiques.
I got something.
I want to see if this is what. No, I mean, I didn't have any critiques on this movie. I thought this was perfect, and there's nothing I would change.
I got a critique, and it was a new one watching it this time.
Okay.
But Greg, I'm curious, Greg's too.
Okay, so we all think Judge Doom is the only villain in this movie, right? No. The movie producers and studio are as well. Because what is the first moment? What's the first moment you're like, Judge Doom is evil? Which moment is it?
When he puts the shoe, tune, and dip.
That's right. Because you're like, this poor cute shoe that's got a soul. Soul. Didn't mean that.
That's funny.
It's got this soul and this cute look and everything.
It was actually trying to show affection towards Judge Doom.
Right.
And that's what actually caught Doom's attention.
Rewind though.
Okay.
Where do you first see this shoe?
There's a box that's knocked over, and all the shoes
studio's got all these living shoes that have souls stuffed in a locked box the entire time. How messed up is that? Like, if you're trying to have some empathy for this like living creature, supposedly, and you've got them stuffed away in a box with nails, that ain't right. That's just as messed up.
If I may, earlier, or from that point, or somewhere around that point, when Valiant is looking outside R.K. Maroon's office, somebody knocks over a box, and then this door opens, and then out comes a band and just starts playing.
Right.
You got all those people in a box. So I think it might have just been already established that tunes are transported by box sometimes.
Yeah,
or
so
all
are
around
people,
the
but they
studio's
stopped doing
messed
that
up.
too.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm not arguing it. That's
Damn, I didn't realize how tunist this movie was.
Todd, what was your critique?
How did the hole set him free when he was about to get crushed by the steamroller?
How did the hole set him free?
Remember he grabs the hole?
Yeah, and then he just puts the hole on top of the magnet.
But then he jumps on top of the. Like, how does that work? Like, if
he was caught by the magnet, and then he pulls the hole.
Yes.
He throws the hole on the magnet, and it makes a space.
But I mean, like, how did he get from there? Like, it is like I can't figure out how that hole helped him. Like, out of all the things he grabbed, how is that would help him get free and on top of the roller to get it?
Well,
that's it.
There's a ladder he could climb.
But how
are
did
you just concerned with the speed?
No, just how did the hole help him in that situation? Like,
because the hole creates a space. It creates an open space. So,
but what is it? How did it free him from a magnet? Get him out? Okay,
because the cop threw the hole against the wall and were able to put their hand through the hole. It establishes that whatever this hole is on, whatever's behind it, no longer is there, and it's just empty space.
So he just hid in the hole, then he jumped out
on the magnet, and then it creates an open space, and that's how he's able to escape.
So,
I thought that was your concern.
If you think about it, when you throw the hole on the wall and they put their hand through it and whatnot, where is that hand going? Is it going to the other side of the wall? Is it going into this like nexus, this nether realm black hole kind of situation?
I was forced to find an issue, and this is what I found.
No, I mean, good more to you. I saw this multiple times and I couldn't find an issue. But I will say that according to the movie, the hole just has like an empty space, kind of like a black hole, but doesn't suck anything in. It's just an empty space because we didn't see him pull anything out of it. He just put his arm in it, and it was just like putting your arm in an empty room.
But even if it created an empty space for him,
but if it's going to the empty room, then shouldn't your stomach or whatever go to the empty room, not create a void?
But because here's the thing though,
Maybe because it wraps
it
around itself.
It might wrap around itself,
But
but
how did
in
a
my
hole
mind,
this
I would
big help him?
okay, if I'm gonna use like a toon mind to try to figure this out, my reasoning would be that because the magnet was the first material that the hole touched, the hole only created the space for the magnet, and it doesn't.
So
go,
what are you
so the
saying?
hole, you can't put a hole onto two separate
No,
places.
no. Before you get ahead of me, so what you're saying is the hole is where the magnet went, so he was able to get up.
Yes, because the hole created a space, and it might have been that that the hole wrapped around itself, so that way that entire part of the magnet would disappear.
I think you're stretching, but we'll just go with it.
I also want to know how
I'm stretching. This movie literally has cartoon characters in it,
yeah.
and you're telling me I'm stretching? I mean, come on.
But the humans have to play by normal physics.
No, not necessarily. I mean, Eddie, didn't he hit the ground in Toontown?
But he was in Toontown.
Yeah, yeah.
But
so I don't know if they're
humans have to play, like.
But no, but that's different. Landing on Toontown ground is not the same as landing in the warehouse ground.
But that warehouse is connected to Toontown. Maybe
but it's
there's
not
like residual Toontown.
Eddie,
we don't know those lines.
Eddie didn't jump off anything and land on the concrete floor. What he did do is react with. So he has to play by the rules established by what he's interacting with, as set forth when he falls on the ground in Toontown, or when he's in the elevator with Droopy and he becomes flat. So whatever he's interacting with, he can play by those rules. Because a hole is the cartoon object, he can play by the rules and the physics of that hole that it creates in that situation.
So the answer is cartoon
this
logic.
Is the dumbest conversation I have ever had, I think. But I mean, I'm having so much fun having it. It's just so weird. Like saying the words I'm saying.
How do you hold a hole?
Yeah.
You can hold it by the end.
Well, there's
here's the thing. So that's what established in the movie.
It's going to change the rating of our podcast if we keep going.
No, but I was going to say the movie establishes that the hole just goes into an empty space. According to Disneyland, the hole just goes back to the loading area of the ride.
That's true. That's true.
So, I mean, I don't have any critiques. You've said yours. Do you guys have any others? I mean, more power to you for finding them. I completely forgot about them when I'm watching this movie because nothing made me feel that way. But should I go into these commentary notes and we do the ratings, or should we do the ratings?
I mean, I can do more critiques. The fact that Disney's alternate and removed the upskirt shot of Jessica Rabbit, and the titty spot of Betty Boop, and Baby Hermit trying to finger the girl in the opening cartoon, and numerous other things that Disney's hidden from and alter the original animation.
That's not something you could put against the
that's
movie,
my critique.
Though.
No, that's my critique against Disney.
Okay. I understand. But what do you, in terms of like ratings or commentary notes, what should we do?
Well, I mean, we should rate it. Like, I mean, right?
Okay.
I think we all know what it is.
I know. So it's not like we're not suspending. Like, we're not keeping anyone in suspense. I mean, obviously, I'm a 5.
It's a 5 for me as well.
Yeah.
It's a perfect movie for me.
Yeah.
So going into the commentary notes, at first it was a little rough to listen because there's 6 people that were on commentary. Robert Zemeckis, Frank Marshall, Steve Starkey, who is the associate producer, Ken Ralston, who is the visual effects supervisor, Jeff Price and Peter Seaman being the screenwriters.
Hopefully, other than the 2, the others knew to know the role. I know Frank Marshall was probably talking too much.
Yeah, so it's tough when somebody jumping in has to say, "Okay, Bob here," so just so they understand that whoever's watching it is listening to 6 different people talk without seeing it. So I'm sure they felt that as well. So when Roger was initially designed, he was drawn just with one try. There was any changes to what the initial image of him was. And the designer created him with the idea to be shaped in a triangle, like a dunce cap. So if you notice a lot of his positioning in the movie, he's shaped like a triangle, and that's intended. It was Charles Fleischer that came up with the speech when they're doing because the screenwriters wanted to give Roger like some sort of speech impediment, like You have Daffy and Sylvester. So they wanted to give one for Roger. They didn't know what to give him, and it was Charles Fleischer that just did it without them asking. And which, by the way, all the voiceovers were on stage doing the voiceovers while the actors were actually acting towards puppets.
And Charles was wearing a bunny suit.
He was wearing a bunny suit every day. And the red car plot was something to highlight. It was actually concocted by automobile companies and tire companies. Now going into the Ink and Paint Club, because one of my favorite moments is Eddie walking in and seeing the penguins from Mary Poppins as the wait staff, right? But they're holding real plates. So what was happening is they built an 8-foot stage, and there was puppeteers underneath with these plates on poles, and then animation to be drawn in later. And also, quick note,
which is also a nice nod to Mary Poppins being one of the first Disney movies to mix animation and live action.
Albeit for a few moments, but still, that is the case. Also, just a quick note about Ink and Paint Club is I love the crows from Dumbo being the background music for Jessica Rabbit. Like that's like such like a tiny but perfect detail. Roger's ears were designed to flow like the arms of a dancer when he was designed, and because if you watch all of his scenes and the way his ears flow, is the idea was that to mimic the arms of a ballet dancer. That's why they always seem so just like kind of the way they do, which is you don't notice it until you really focus on it, and then you could kind of see it. The liquor company, unnamed liquor company, was offering $100,000 for the drink that Roger would drink when he had his first one. Paid $100,000 for their logo to be put on the bottle. And they were actually thinking about it until they realized because Disney's involved, they couldn't do it. And they even said, you do realize that we're making him react negatively to whatever he's drinking. There's no, we don't care. Right. They were all about it. 100,088, a lot more money than what it is today.
Yeah, and plus, I mean, people know what Four Loko does to them, and they still.
This is true.
Christopher Lloyd, don't blink into the camera. That was something he said. No accommodations were made for animation. Zemeckis shot this like a real movie and added in the animation afterward. Disney wanted them to do the animation first and then put the movie around the animation. Zemeckis refused and delivered us what we got. Mentioned that. Wore the costume on set. The probate line, where probate, my uncle had a problem with his probate and he had to take these big pills. That was actually a joke that was said when Spielberg was on set, and Spielberg told him they had to put that joke in there. Hoskins said that when he was acting, he was imagining characters from the stories that his kids would tell him. Like his kids would just like have their own imagination and tell him stories that would involve these fictitious characters, and he would pretend to see those characters and converse with them. That's what he imagined for the movie score. He kind of had practice doing that, so to speak. Valiant driving Benny was a go-kart with a stuntman driving behind him, and which, by the way, the line, "Benny, is that you?" "No, it's Eleanor Roosevelt." Just that line got me just because it was just like fit for the time. Ooh, Benny the Cab, also voiced by Charles Fleischer. So I didn't notice this in all the times I've watched it. It's such a small, tiny detail. And when I was watching the commentary track and Eddie runs into Lena Hyena in Toontown and he's running away from her, goes to the men's room, but it shows out of order. And if you notice the doorknob that the sign is hanging from, it's the same. It looked like the same doorknob from Alice in Wonderland. And I thought to myself, I hadn't noticed that before. That's interesting. And then the commentators pointed out that next to Eddie on the wall, it says, "For a good time, call Allison Wonderland." Allison spelled Alllysin.
Nice.
Leaves a number. It's right before he falls. And And Hoskins doing the tumbling at the end of the movie, that was all him. He grew up as a circus performer. And that was not a stunt man. That was all him. Joke that was cut is it was implied that Judge Doom killed Bambi's mom. Disney didn't want them to put that in there, so they had to take that out. And last one I had here was Tinkerbell was added to the ending after the cut was shown to Eisner. And Eisner said, "We're going to end this movie with a Warner tune."
Right.
And then that's why Tinkerbell was put in at the end after Porky Pig.
But it makes sense to have them both. I mean,
it does. It does click, and it doesn't feel forced. It makes perfect sense. But that note was from Eisner about how come it's just Porky? How come we're letting a Warner tune end this movie? It ended up working anyway.
Yeah.
So
he was right once in a while.
He did actually fight for Indiana Jones to get made by Paramount. So without him, we probably wouldn't have had Indiana Jones. So there's also that.
There's a lot of good Eisner stuff.
I know. Everyone just gives him crap.
Well, he kind of, I mean, working. There was one time I saw him backstage, like with not in front of people, where he didn't have to be, the CEO of Disney.
Yeah.
And he reminded me a lot of Mr. Burns. Like he was kind of hunched over a little bit, and he kind of had this look on his face like, I really don't want to be here. I really don't want to be here. You know? But anyhow, we said what our ratings were. This is currently available to stream on Disney Plus, and of course available for purchase or to rent wherever you consume your favorite digital content.
And Disney Plus includes all 3 of those wonderful cartoons.
Yes. That Ozzy didn't believe was a true thing.
Well, I thought, because when I looked up just Roger Rabbit, only 2 on the Disney Plus. It showed the movie, and then it showed 2 of the shorts, which was the trail mix-up, the camping one, and then Tummy Trouble, which was which I remember first seeing because I had a copy of Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, and I remember I would put in Honey, I Shrunk the Kids just to watch the Roger Rabbit cartoon. Like I wasn't putting in that movie to watch Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. I wanted to see Tummy Trouble, and then I was just like, I'll keep this on because
it had the short. I could have sworn it didn't have the short on the tape.
No, the tape had the short for sure.
The first tape.
The first tape. The first the Honey. Okay. Now there was shorts were shown before.
This Dick Tracy, and then the one no one watched.
Right, and
you made me watch these shorts. You better talk about them.
Made you?
Yeah, he told us we had to watch. He told us we had to.
If it was a punishment,
I said I think we should watch them.
Okay, because like,
did you guys have a favorite between the 3?
Oh,
because there was Tummy Trouble, and I the other 2 I weren't too familiar. I wasn't as familiar with as
I figured this I know for a fact. I figured you'd know Roller Coaster Rabbit, but that one I know didn't make it to the Dick Tracy tape.
Right. Yeah, I actually didn't have.
They did come out on a tape. All 3 later. There was a Disney tape that all 3.
Disney, or rather, the Dick Tracy copy I had on VHS was recorded off of.
Well, the official one didn't have it either, but Disney did come out with a tape with all 3 once that 3rd short hit.
Okay.
I'm not a huge fan of the shorts. That's not what I want out of Roger Rabbit. They're fine. I rewatching them. I'm just thinking this isn't what I want out of Roger Rabbit. This is like Baby Herman being a baby. At least like the first 2, they give you that little break into reality at the end. Where the 3rd one, they don't even bother.
Right. Yeah. That was my least favorite of the 3.
But that's something like I don't want to see Baby Herman being a baby. I want to see Baby.
I think that makes it better in a lot of ways because like in the back of your head, you're like, but
so like watching wrestling.
Really are. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So
I get that. They're just like I've never like had the urge to watch them, but I was also older when those came out. Like I do like out of the 3, Tummy Trouble is probably my favorite, but and I know I saw that theatrically. It's weird. I don't really have like my memories of those. Hops and Barleys must have got rid of them. I don't really remember watching Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, though I know I've seen it. Like
Okay.
watching the short made me actually really want to watch that and watch Dick Tracy too. That other movie, I don't care what, A Far Away from Home. I don't know, some nature movie that they threw a Roger Rabbit on the short. They didn't even help it.
Yeah.
Also Roller Coaster Rabbit also played with Toy Story overseas too.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, for me it was Tummy Trouble, 100%. And not only because I think that's the one I kept seeing, but
no, it's 100% now. It's because you watched it over and over.
Well, no, I mean, comparing that one to the other two, I understand Roller Coaster Rabbit also does end like at something happening with the set, but Tummy Trouble, in terms of the first Roller Coaster Rabbit and Tummy Trouble featured scenes where there was something sharp going towards Roger's eyes, and then he would get all the huge eyes would pop out. You didn't get that in the camping one, but there's moments when they're in the hospital and it's just like a quick like boom, 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 like things are happening so quickly you almost get overwhelmed with gags, but it's such a fun ride. And then there's a moment when he stops right before the elevator shaft and there's just that brief nanosecond of silence just to kind of let you breathe, and then it goes back into it, right? And just over and over it. And then the music that accompanies it is great. And my favorite line from that short is when they say, okay, let's open him up, and they pull out the chainsaw and he yells anesthetic and he hits himself over the head with a hammer. Greg?
Oh, it's definitely Tummy Trouble. Like that, all around it's just funny, zany, like hits all the great beats of what you expect from those classic, cartoon shorts.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's also available.
I do have a question.
Yeah.
Like, okay, you're gonna say they're also available on Disney Plus.
Yeah.
Okay. So
you'll see two available by themselves, and then there's one that's as an extras on the Roger Rabbit page of Disney Plus.
And if you own them on digital, they're in the extras too. Just
okay. And then of course they did come with the DVD, all three shorts.
I was gonna ask both of you, do you even want a Roger Rabbit 2 at this point? My thoughts of it is it died with Bob Hoskins. I don't want to see it now.
It couldn't fit because you couldn't get the studios to cooperate again.
Oh, you can give Warner Brothers money and they'll cooperate.
No, but it wouldn't be the same. It would it wouldn't feel the same because again.
No, I agree. You said that at the beginning. That's why I asked.
This story came from a place of this guy writing a story about comic strip characters coming to life, and then it turned into this. And but that story they kind of morphed and melded to make it palatable for film.
I mean, I don't think they do the type of humor either.
No, like a full Disney project. There's so much stuff in this that they would not even touch today.
So, as a matter of fact, that's why they've got Jessica Rabbit in a trench coat in the ride.
Yeah,
that's been the biggest problem. Like, I mean, what do you like, Jessica Rabbit? Like,
Baby Herman wouldn't be smoking a cigar anymore.
No. Now, the only way I would ever accept a sequel at this point in time, because there was a sequel script written.
There was like 3 different ones.
Yeah.
I know the last one had Bob Hoskins' ghost when he was still alive, at least.
Yeah. Got it. And now, if it was one of the original scripts, or sure, and done with that spirit in mind, but I doubt that would ever fly, not only for political reasons, but just Disney and all that fun.
Well, that's not the only thing. It's also been Steven Spielberg that's held it up, because that's why Roger gets thrown to the back burner in the Disney parks, because they need Spielberg to sign off on stuff, because he's half of the creator of Roger Rabbit, like for the stuff. So and then he was pissed, I can't remember which short it was. It might have been the second one. Or maybe it was Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. That they put the short on that instead of the Amblin movie Disney was putting out. Arachnophobia. They put it on that instead of Arachnophobia.
Well, I mean, like,
that makes sense.
Arachnophobia was also a children's movie.
What?
Arachnophobia, 100%. That was not an adult's horror film. That was a kids movie. It's rated PG.
Well,
I mean,
it was a
John
kid's
Goodman
horror
as
film.
the exterminator was like kind of that comedic relief that made things a lot less intense, but still like spiders coming from the drains. I mean,
giant bees
had,
coming to get you. I mean,
I don't know.
But either way, yes, Spielberg was not happy with that.
Okay, that's interesting. One other note, in the trailer, we did see a deleted scene with Bob Hoskins wearing a pig head.
Yeah.
That was actually occurred in between the scenes where Roger stayed at the bar in that speakeasy room. And the Weasels actually took Valiant to Toontown, kind of like torture him or whatever, ended up putting a giant pig head on him. And there's actually, in the deleted scene, it shows Valiant taking a shower and using turpentine to get the tune off his head. And in the movie, there's
so did they murder a turn and put the carcass? Was it like a Leatherface homage and I didn't get to see it?
It was kind of like weird because you saw the pieces of the tune like falling in the tub and then going down the drain with like the eye like clogging and then doing that pop and then going down the drain. So it kind of felt like a tiny bit like the shoe scene a little bit. And then the actual movie, you see Hoskins or Valiant coming out of the bathroom and doesn't have a shirt, and Jessica Rabbit's in his apartment. That's supposed to be him coming out of the shower from washing the tune off, but in the final version, they added in the sound of the toilet flushing.
So he was talking a mean shit. He had to take his shirt off.
Just like George Costanza.
That's what the damn.
Also, one of the executives that saw the movie had said, "Does he have to have so much hair on his back?"
Could have had a deleted scene with the gorilla and him without a shirt,
So that I don't have I've said everything I can say that coming to mind for this movie. Do you guys have anything else?
No.
Now that the rights are back with the author, we have that live action Jessica Rabbit movie coming out, which okay.
I did not know that was happening.
Oh yes, that's the thing. The rights reverted back to the original author earlier this year, and one of the first things he announced was the live action movie. And he's talking about a sequel now, but I don't think he'll find maybe someone will fund it, but we'll see. But yeah, live action Jessica Rabbit origin story type thing is next. So,
well, we'll see what happens. Stay tuned. All right. So if you guys don't have anything else,
no.
All right. Now, just a quick announcement. If you happen to be in the Orange County area, I will actually not be hosting trivia this week. I'm going on a cruise, leaving Tuesday, coming back Sunday. Very excited for it. Can't wait for it to start. Do you guys have anything else before we head out this year? I will be back, though, the following week, first week of September, hosting trivia at let's see. That'll be Tuesday, September 1st at the Rush Barn Grill in Lake Forest and the Brewery in Placentia on Wednesday, September 2nd. Both nights start at 7 o'clock. Both nights free to play and prizes for the top winning team. Do you guys have anything else before we head off this evening?
Yes, we do. And I'm going to have you promote it.
Saturday, October 3rd. Last tournament on the left, too. This time it's personal. You can get your tickets now at fleshwoundfeatures.com. And, of course, don't forget to follow Flesh Wound Features on Facebook for more event updates. There we go. And for world-famous juggler Greg Larson and Flesh Wound producer Todd, I'm Ozzy V. We'll see you next time right here on a brand new episode of Flesh Wound Farce.